It was one summer evening that the whole story of your painting began. I remember it like it was yesterday. A group of scientists were staying at the Refuge to prepare for an expedition to some faraway place in the east. They were being trained by a local alpinist who was to guide them. His name was Leon Kabatis. Oh, handsome as a Greek god he was, and an Olympic champion no less, very popular with the ladies. And he was lovely to me, would give me a wink and a smile whenever I served him his beer. "Thank you, Demoiselle Leni," he would say, in French, if you please. Made me feel like a proper little madam. But then Frau Junta would always shoo me away.
Frau Junta?
Must have been in her mid-20s. But of course, to me, she was an old hag, past it. And I didn't like the way she bossed my Leon around with that camera of hers. The Refuge was buzzing. Everyone was jolly, and the scientists were there, debating as usual about this and that. A cheerful bunch, really, despite their disputes. Except, that is, for one. Frank Hoss was his name. Preferred his own company. Though I could see, even with my young eyes, he was devious as the devil.
But what about the girl in the picture?
Well, she was there that evening too. She had come to work through the summer. Her name was Dana Rose. Ah, she was as cute as a button and well-mannered with it. Even father was sweet as a lamb to her.
Take care of the scientist drinks, then go round taking orders. And have a look at the stove while you're at it.
Yes, Herr Gustav.
Will you be alright now, Dana? It's the first busy night since you started, so just ask if there's anything you need to know. Alright, my lovely?
Thank you, Herr Gustav. I'd be grateful if you could give me a few pointers.
Oh, there's not much to it, really. Keep up your smile and the twinkle in your eye. Add that to a bit of friendly banter, and you'll soon have them eating out of your hand, my girl.
But what should I talk about?
For a start, people love to speak about themselves, right? But make sure you have an escape line ready, in case they drag on, or if things become, inappropriate. Especially when they've had one or two too many. So stay on your guard and you'll be fine.
Smile, banter, guard up. Got it.
That's it. Because you don't want old Gustav having to wade in and pull you out of trouble. You hear me, Dana?
Don't worry, Herr Gustav. I'll be fine.
Off you trot then, my lovely. Keep smiling, and you'll have them carrying your tray for you.
I need to serve those drinks to the scientists.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. Okay. She's a lovely Not too bad. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay. Okay. Oh, it's a hat for her. Oh, cheers. Yes. Okay. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Off you go, my girl. You'll be fine. And there's no need to be nervous. I'm here if there's the slightest problem. And there won't be.
I should go on the other side of the counter. Those drinks won't get served by themselves. What a strange mechanism. It reminds me of the automatons on the musical square.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So this is the Spitze.
Yes,
According to my order, I shouldn't be adding Nebel to the Stein. Birne, huh? Here's the Nebel. The keg's empty. I need to change it. It's not the right kind of beer. That should be it. Let's serve these gentlemen now.
No, we'll have to go higher, I'm telling you. But my point is that it's highly improbable that any primate will be able to survive so high up, let alone thrive.
And if they were thriving, we wouldn't be looking for them, would we? I say they've taken to the higher ground, and they only come down to steal livestock and game.
Look out, chaps.
Gentlemen, your drinks?
Ah, good on you, lassie. Horst, make yourself useful and pass these around. First day, is it? Better make a wish then.
All right, I will. I wish you would tell me what all those maps are for.
Ah, that I can grant you. They show all the different locations of an expedition we're planning.
I see you haven't come just for the view, then.
Oh no, Fraulein. We're only here for the beer and a pretty smile. That's our trainer out there. Supposed to knock this scraggly lot into shape for the big climb in Baltayar.
Right. And what's that one of, if you don't mind me asking?
That is Baltayar, a remote region in the mountains of northern China. That's where I'll be leading my team in a couple of weeks.
And What's this expedition for?
Well, keep it to yourself, but the code name is Origin. And if I have my way, it will likely change the way we perceive humanity.
And what about you, gentlemen?
Well, let me introduce you to my dream team. Horst Sauer, talented anthropologist and frequent but worthy pain in the ass your mother. Rudolf Jäger, distinguished ethnologist. And last but not least, Albert Bauer, paleontologist.
And yourself?
Reinhard Berger, biologist.
As Herr Berger says, we're here to train for the Origin expedition.
In return for funding for our own projects back home.
And for the love of science, eh, Horst?
Oh, yes, of course, Herr Berger. I'm sure none of us would be here otherwise, would we?
And what about you, my lovely?
Oh, I'm Dana. I'm working here during the holidays, that's all. I'm curious to know what this Origin expedition is all about, though. If it's not top secret, that is.
Put it this way, Fraulein Dana. If, when we discover what we're looking for, you will no doubt remember this conversation as your claim to fame. You will tell your grandchildren that you served the Origin team, the team that discovered none other than the missing link of the superior race of humans, the Australopithecus habilis, the direct ancestor of Homo sapiens. Or, more vulgarly put, the Abominable Snowman.
Oh, I see. Now I get why it's called Origin.
Whatever we find, whatever we call it, it's likely to send shockwaves all through the world of anthropology. It will help us to explain how we evolved from Australopithecus to modern man, and then became...
He's off again. Get him started on anthropology and he's like a bolted horse. I don't think Fraulein Dana wants you to clobber her with your explanations, Horst.
I might only be a waitress, but actually I find it quite interesting.
Well, Fräulein, the Origin expedition could lead us to a totally new series of studies, or even reveal a new mode of tribal organization, or a micro-society, by the discovery of a specimen that may well have played a major role in the evolution of modern man.
Come, gentlemen, here's to the Brown Shadow for generously sponsoring this expedition, which is sure to redefine our understanding of mankind.
Oh, I see we're fraternizing with the personnel, gentlemen.
Just giving a toast to our generous sponsor, Herr Hers.
May I remind you that this mission, financed by my party, is confidential? Do you know what that means, Dr. Berger?
Yes, Herr Hers.
It means, gentlemen, it is strictly forbidden to communicate any details or objectives to anyone outside our circle, let alone to the first waitress to come by twinkling her eyelashes. Fraulein, as soon as you're done here, I suggest you get back to your chores.
What a brute.
That is one of the inconveniences of working with a heavily politicized private sponsor. But he's just doing his job. And I suppose, like anything else in life, there has to be some compromise to get what one desires. So, think nothing of it, Fraulein. It is the way of science. Indeed, it is the way of the world.
The way of the world, Herr Berger? I'm sorry, but in case you do not know, let me tell you what members of the Brown Shadow do to Vagarans like me. They smash windows. They assault innocent people for no reason at all. They are fascists and criminals, Herr Berger. With all due respect, don't you feel ashamed to be associated with such tyrants?
I would be careful when expressing such extreme accusations, Fraulein. There are always overzealous members of any party, always have been. And even so, we are not politicians. We do not claim to save humanity. Our job is to explain how it came about. Why, if the scientific community had to halt progress at every political crossroads, then humanity would never have advanced any further than Homo erectus.
Dana! Chop chop! This isn't a French parlor, my girl.
Yes, Herr Gustav. I'd better go. Thank you, gentlemen.
Right, my lovely. Pop out, take the orders on the terrace, and then we can take a breather.
There, like that. Try not to move now, darling.
Leni, sweetheart?
Crikey, you nearly made me jump out of my skin.
What have you got there?
Oh, it's a camera lens, that's all.
A camera lens?
Yeah? Borrowed it from Frau Junta?
Who is this Frau Junta, anyway?
Ginger Junta, over there.
She married?
Oh no, too old to marry now. She's way past 20, you know. That's why she likes filming Leon, because he's young and handsome.
Leni?
And she never lets me have a go of her gear anyway. I only wanted to help her film something. I bet she's jealous.
Leni, what's so special about Frau Junta's equipment that makes you want to steal it?
Borrow it.
All right, borrow it.
Can't you see? Who would be interested in Ginger Junta if she didn't have a camera, huh? She's too old for Leon. She uses it so she can be the centre of attention, you know.
Is that what you want?
No, not exactly. Besides, there's nothing to do here.
I do understand, Leni, but...
No, you don't. Feels like a prison here sometimes, all on my own. When I grow up, I'll live at the top of a building in the big city, and I'll have a swimming pool on my roof.
Believe me, I do understand, Leni. Because of my coughing fits, I've sometimes had to stay in my room for weeks on end. Imagine that, nothing to see but the same four walls.
Oh, right. Must have been pretty tough, I guess.
That's why I took up the piano. Do you like doing anything special, Leni?
I suppose I like making stuff with Papa. He's got ever such clever hands, you know. But he's always so busy in the summer.
Let's be friends then, shall we?
You won't tell on me then?
Not now that we're friends.
You promise?
I promise.
Leon, dear, do make an effort.
You'd better get back. Father will get cross if he finds us gabbing. I really like talking with you, you know, woman to woman. Makes a change from that Junta and all the men.
better not interrupt them. That Frau Junta wasn't exactly friendly earlier with Leni. I'd better not disturb them. I don't want to risk another scolding. Another creation of Herr Gustav. I guess he won't mind if I take a quick look. Madonna laces. The Silberspiegel, the heart-shaped rock face that gave its name to the refuge. According to Herr Gustav, only the most seasoned alpinists can climb it. The highest peak in the region. Little Leni said that it's the keeper of the border with Switzerland, and that it's supposed to feed on the souls of those who have been swept away by the mountain. This path leads to Switzerland. One needs to be guided by an alpinist to go through it, though. The Devil Pass starts here. The end of the road for an inexperienced hiker like me, I guess.
That's it. Hold it.
I think Herr Gustav would not like it if I left the refuge during the service, so I had better stick around. It's a beautiful evening. Mother was right about the pure air up here. Everything seems so right, so utterly clear. I'm so thrilled. My first job. I'll be able to earn enough until September to pay for a new year of study at the music academy. I'm truly looking forward to it. Everything seems to be working out at last. I feel like this is a turning point in my life. Just imagine, one day, Dana Rose, concert pianist.
No, we can do better.
So glad Herr Gustav likes me to play for the clients.
Yeah, that's right.
This way at least I won't get rusty. Those paintings. I think Herr Gustav wanted me to help him choose the one he should buy. He must have left me a note somewhere. I should take a closer look at those paintings before choosing one. I think I'll pick this one. There's no one to serve upstairs. And besides, there's still much to do down here. I don't want to let Herr Gustav down.
Yes,
Looks like there's something wrong with the airflow. This mechanism controls the air intake, if I remember correctly. Looks all good to me. No. That one is loose.
okay. Yeah, that's right.
That should fit pretty much anywhere on the stove. Better try another one.
Okay. Yeah, that's right.
The airflow seems right now, but I think the fire is too weak. I need to add more wood in the fire. I need to open the stove first. It's not enough. I need to feed the fire more.
Yes.
Perfectly dry.
Yes.
That's it. I'm done here. I've done all that Herr Gustav told me to do. I'd better go and tell him.
Yes.
All right.
Fine. No more orders and everyone's served.
That's the go. Now listen, Dana. I know, you know, the brown shadow is dangerous, right? So for heaven's sake, keep your feelings to yourself. And refrain from answering Herr Burger back like you did, eh? The brown shadow is not something you can just chit-chat about.
But
Look, it's not safe. And it will only come back and bite you. Mark my words, Dana. Especially in today's climate.
I only...
Dana, I know. Just be careful. No one wants problems with fascists. You get my drift? And may I remind you that I warned you earlier when you asked me for advice. So I'll tell you one last time. Don't get drawn in. Do you hear me, Dana? So, young lady, you're still off to the academy in the fall, are you not? What you waiting for, then? Get back to your practicing and play us a nice tune while you're at it.
All right then, I will. Thank you, Herr Gustav.
Play something melodious this time. It'll make a nice change from the military pieces some of the patrons have been requesting of late.
that's right. That's right. Not too bad. Okay. There she is.
Well, Herr Gustav did a pretty good job repairing that key I broke yesterday.
Looking forward to it. There she is. I love it. Yes.
Leon, what are you doing? I want to catch the light.
I'm so sorry. I got carried away.
Bravo! Bravo! Bravo!
Bravo. Bravo.
Clap? How can you clap? Oh, so you like noise, do you? Do you? Well, you should be ashamed! Ashamed, I say! To applaud the music of a treacherous Polish separatist! Rebel-rousing! It's this kind of rebel-rousing that puts the poison of Marxist Bulgarian ideology in the minds of honest people! And those who partake in its vulgarization are accessories to treason!
You are drunk, Herr Hoss.
Out of my way, boy!
Come, Fräulein. Best clear off until the dust settles.
You should have seen me then, Fräulein Walker. I was so young and eager to witness whatever could happen between Dana and Leon. I needed to know, to be included, one way or another.
Leni, don't! Give them some space, would you? A blasted fight. That's all I need. Go up to your room, Leni.
Don't you have some dolls to dress or something? Not now, Leni.
Shouldn't you be in bed? What a fiasco.
Dana did a good job. It's nice and warm in here now, but maybe a bit too much for Herr Hoss. He had it coming.
Oh, Leni, why don't you leave the piano to those who actually know how to play it, huh?
What's the point? I can never compete with Dana. So, that's the painting Dana thinks Father should buy from Leon. Nice choice. I'm so glad I started this collection of photos. When I grow up, I'll travel all around the world and photograph everywhere I go. When I'm old, the wall will be covered with them.
You all right? Yeah, I thought so.
It's just that if I had retaliated, I would have lost my job, you know? Believe me, I came this close to not being able to pay for my studies at the academy after the holidays.
Forget it. He was blind drunk. Won't even remember it come tomorrow. Old Gustav could see it wasn't your fault. Besides, you didn't see him after your performance. Ecstatic he was.
There are more and more people like that brute. They don't even bother to hide their hatred anymore. It's like they've been given a mission, or perhaps I should say permission, to abuse people like me, as if Vagarans had suddenly become the scourge of society. And we're powerless to act because if we did, we'd lose our home. My parents, they've become a bundle of nerves. They can't sleep at night. Only last week, our shop window got smashed again, and our neighbors, they couldn't care less. And neither could the authorities. What's wrong? Did my rant frighten you?
Well, yes. Yes, it did. I mean, not you, Fraulein, but what you said about the fascists. You've put my own suspicions into words, Fraulein, because what you say about the Brown Shadow is true, and that's what worries me. I used to think they were just a bunch of cranks in their ridiculous uniforms, but now I can see these lunatics really are serious, deadly serious.
But you did know who was behind the Origin expedition?
Never gave it much thought, to be honest. Only met Huss and the scientists today. For me, they were no different from any other group I've trained. If I'd have known that, I'd have had second thoughts. Actually, do you know what?
What?
I'm going to stop training them.
Can you do that?
It's still a free country, right? So after a few weeks' notice, I'll be off the hook. At least, I get to spend the summer here with you. Painting.
But I don't paint.
No, you play. I paint. It's my passion. And you can be my muse.
Is that what you say to all the girls?
No. Never.
Hello, you two lovebirds. Everyone's going to bed, so you better come back inside or you'll catch cold, or worse.
And that's how Dana pipped everyone at the post. It only took one look for Leon to fall head over heels in love with her. And it didn't take much for Dana to fall for him. Love at first sight, you might say. The whole band stayed at the chalet all summer long. Then, I suppose, everyone went their own sweet way.
Did you ever see any of them again?
Oh, no.
What about Dana and Leon?
They too went their own ways, I guess. And that, Fräulein Walker, is all there is to it.
Where did Dana go after she left?
Back to her parents, I should think. Somewhere in Wagen.
Do you know if she's still alive?
Can't be sure, but I doubt it. It was a lifetime ago, Fräulein Walker.
Where do you think she might be if she were?
No idea. Things went from bad to worse after that summer. Not to mention half the town was razed during the war.
Did Dana leave anything here? Any documents or anything that might help me find where she went?
Not that I know of. But I suppose there might be in Father's old coffer. Must still be in the loft. Junta bought it from him that summer, so she could use it to store her precious filming gear. She was supposed to come back for it, but she never did. If there is anything that can help you, it will be in there. So feel free to look around the refuge by yourself if you like, even though I don't think anyone managed to open the coffer since Junta left.
Thank you, Demoiselle Leni. Thank you so much. Maintaining the refuge must be a huge job. As tough as Leni is, I hope she has some help when she needs it. That must be the piano Dana played on the night she met Leon. The night Leni told me about. A mechanical stove. Seen better days. Another object with the look of the Vorarlberg workshop. Reminds me of Hans's automatons in Valladolid.
Ah, I see I'm not the only one stuck here. Bah, pull up a seat and together we can moan about being stuck here.
Thank you, but I have things to do.
I hope you can stay until this evening at least. In London they have the changing of the guard. Here we get the changing of the colors. I guarantee it's worth the wait. English?
American, actually.
Oh, seeing as you've come so far, then. Besides, it's always nicer to be stranded in good company. From Belgium, myself, on a world climbing tour.
Stranded?
Didn't you know? They've closed the Teufelskragen. That's the pass they call the Devil's Pass.
So that's what all the fuss is about.
All down to climate change.
You mean the thaw, right?
Made the pass too dangerous to climb and apparently resulted in a morbid discovery.
Oh?
Bodies of resistance fighters. Killed while leading refugees to Switzerland. Frozen solid.
Resistance fighters? You mean frozen since the Second World War?
That's what the paper says.
Is that what the tent's for?
It's a temporary chapel of rest that the rescue team made while waiting for the bodies to be airlifted out.
I see. I guess there's no reason to disrespect the departed, even after all these years.
I only hope all this sudden interest from excavationists puts an end to the stupid rumors that a strange creature haunts the Silberspiegel. Otherwise, you can be sure as soon as the old lady pops her clogs, this place will become run over by those infernal tourists.
I've had some experience with fantastic fauna myself. But what do you make of the so-called strange creature that roams the mountain?
Just another local fairy tale to pull in the tourists, if you ask me. They say it lives in prehistoric caves. And that it's responsible for people going missing. Ooh. Some even say that the mysterious cries you can hear on some nights are the creature calling for a mate. In other words, the usual twaddle you normally get in remote or uncharted places like the high mountain or the deep sea. Twaddle passed down from generation to generation through sheer ignorance.
Can you tell me about this Devil's Pass?
Oh, it's on the far side of the cirque, looking out from the terrace. As you can imagine, it's called Devil's Pass because it's extremely dangerous. Most of all because of the risk of avalanche. Only seasoned alpinists can negotiate it really. As a professional alpinist myself, what I love about it is knowing I'm climbing in the tracks of courageous climbers of bygone times. There's a real sense of history about it. For example, resistance fighters used it during the war to smuggle vagrants and other victims of the Brown Shadow into Switzerland.
What about those frozen bodies they discovered at the foot of Devil's Pass?
Well, due to climate change, the snow line has receded, revealing the bodies trapped in the ice since the Second World War. Most probably resistance fighters and exiles, trying to flee the fascist occupiers and reach Switzerland by the pass. I imagine they got caught in an avalanche. Poor wretches have been imprisoned ever since. Until today. That is why the authorities have blocked access to the pass, so they can take the bodies out, identify them, and give them a proper burial.
Right. Thanks for cluing me in. Anyway, I better get back to what I was doing.
You are welcome, Fräulein. Fraulein Leni will end up catching her death of cold if she stays out like that. If this goes on, I'll end up reading my way through the entire bookcase. If you get a chance, have a look at the Silberspiegel at sunset. The colors are a marvel of nature.
Leni's father must have made this stair lift to help her get up and down the stairs. Must have taken him many hours. It's touching when you think about it. An old book? The Magic Mountain by Thomas Mann? Funny. My grandparents left me a copy before they died when I was a kid. I should get around to reading it someday. The dormitories. I wonder how many people stop at the Refuge these days. Austere. Looks like a storage room. It's cold in here. somebody's been smoking. A client, maybe? Unless Leni likes to sneak a smoke. So that's the painting Dana told Leni's father to buy. Not bad. And similar in style to my painting. Wonder what the others were like. There. But who could have left it open? This must be Leni's room. Not sure I'm allowed in here, really. Keep your servant also from willful sins. May they not rule over me. Then I will be blameless, innocent of great transgression. Sweet. Photos of the refuge. Looks like they're arranged by time period. These date from before the war. There's even one from the summer when Dana worked at the refuge. There are no photos of the occupation of Vaughan by the Brown Shadow. I guess that corresponds to when Leni and her father had to leave the refuge. All these photos go up to the 80s, including my date of birth. This series ends at 2002, 3 years ago, when I began my journey with Oscar and Hans's train. That's pretty impressive. Obviously helps Leni get up and about. She's still sitting there, watching. Wonder what she's thinking about. Take-up reel, like the ones used on old cinema projectors. A medal for acts of resistance. And it's got Leni's name on it. I must remember to ask Leni about it. Don't want to break my neck, thank you very much. This must be Junta's coffer, the one Leni spoke about. Amazing! Now it shows the view from the terrace.